These are the assembly instructions for my box for Mother. The walls of my box consist of 3 panels, and I'm just folding down on all the score lines. I have the vertical score lines, and then the horizontal score lines that form the tabs at the bottom. So next I'm going to join my 3 panels together at their side tabs. So I'm just adding glue from the score line to the end on one of the side tabs. I'm joining my other panel with the tabs at the bottom, and I'm lining up the tops so they're nice and even. And I have my cut edge of that panel right against the score line of my tab. So next I have the tab that's on the side of that panel. I'm putting glue on it, and then I'm gluing my shorter panel. I'm gluing the cut edge of my shorter panel right to the score line of that tab. I have the decorative panels. So my decorative panels are cut out of patterned cardstock, and then I've embossed the patterned cardstock to give it a little bit more interest. There's an even frame all the way around my piece, and I'm going to do that with all 8 pieces. So the embossing on my panels was done with a 3D embossing folder, which I ran through my embossing machine. It was not done with the debossing tool on my Cricut machine. So now that I've decorated my panels, I'm flipping my piece over so that I'm looking at the interior. I'm putting glue along that final side tab, and then I'm folding the other end over so that the cut edge of that piece is right along the score line of my tab. And that will form the walls of my box. So I have all those bottom tabs pointing towards the interior of my box, and I'm just putting glue on every single one of them. So I have 2 octagons, they're exactly the same, and I'm going to put the white one into my octagon form, and I'm pushing the walls out so that they mimic the shape of my base piece. Pulling on my walls just to make sure that everything fits. And then I'm going in with my bone folder and just spreading that glue. So then I'm going to flip my piece over. I'm putting glue on the entire surface. And then I'm taking my other octagon and just laying it on top. It should fit edge to edge perfectly. And then I'm going to flip my piece over and go in there and spread the glue again. So next I'm going to work on my lid. I have used Cricut's new value vinyl for the motif that's on the cover. I've applied it onto some silver Cricut craft board, and I used lineless transfer tape, which I stuck to my clothing a few times to remove a little bit of the stickiness, and then just applied it to my octagon. So this is the piece for my lid, and I'm folding down on all the score lines for it. I've got the 8 score lines that are going to create the octagon shape for the top of my box. And then I have these score lines that form little triangles on all 8 rectangles around the perimeter. So I'm just folding down on those. So now that I've folded down on the score lines, it's easier to see where I want to glue down my panels. So I've got the central panel, of course, and then I have 8 rectangular pieces to glue around the perimeter. And what I'm going to try to do is create an even border around each one of them between the score lines and the edge of each one of those rectangles. So next I'm putting glue on this triangular shape that's in between the 2 rectangles, and then I'm gluing the cut edge of this panel to the score line of the triangle, like so, to form an edge for my lid. And I'm going to do that around the perimeter of my lid. So now that the lid is done, I'm just putting the lid on my box base, like so.